talking about ACEs today. They're basically like past childhood experiences that affect who you are today. Of course, experiences make us who we are today. And ACEs are negative impacts that carry into adulthood. So the first thing is that I'm pretty sure everybody has a negative experience from childhood that makes us who we are today, and which is the reason why some of us make bad decisions. So what is an ACE exactly? It is an adverse childhood experience, and it can tie into physical abuse, emotional abuse, neglect from childhood, mental illness, household violence, having a loved one or a relative incarcerated. It could come from also sexual assault or drug and alcohol abuse from a relative or a parent, or death or abandonment from a divorce. And a lot of that affects childhood experiences, and it makes us who we are today. And the bad thing about ACEs is that it can give us poor academic achievement going into school. I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that since most of y'all are teachers. It can give us psychological problems. And they affect who an individual is today because they're, like I said, childhood experiences. And a lot of people struggle to get over that. And a lot of them are also judged by other people because they don't understand their childhood. Some people live normal lives, which is where they grew up in a sheltered home. A lot of people are exposed to these types of ACEs, especially some that grow up in lower income families. Usually individuals with 4 or more ACEs, well, that's a list of what I mentioned for ACEs right there. Or usually those with 4 or more ACEs, they can get heart disease, they're more likely to get cancer when they're older, they're 32 times more likely to have behavioral issues or learning disabilities. They're also 10 to 12 times more likely to suffer from drug and alcohol abuse, especially if they come from lower income families. And usually 8 out of 10 deaths in the United States are because they have 4 or more ACEs. And how can we prevent people being deeply affected by ACEs today? Well, there's therapy out there, like there's children seeking counselors or single parents going into counseling to help them, be educated about how to sustain their household, how to get their kids involved into activities so they stay out of trouble. Also educating children about what drugs do and how they can affect you going into adulthood. And then also like helping kids improve their grades in school too. That also helps prevent ACEs. And basically my conclusion. In conclusion, ACEs affect who someone is today because of their past childhood experiences. And from this speech, we have a better knowledge of why somebody is affected as an individual. And basically our life experiences make us who we are today. And I want to say the best thing we can do is people that suffer from ACEs, we should help support them so that way they're not affected as much going into adulthood. And that's basically it.